DICE dropped the patch notes for next week's update, with audio and netcode improvements incoming. And I guess mortars are also about to get a bit more annoying than they already were. So starting off, they've addressed multiple systems tied to netcode and hit registration, including long-standing issues like dying behind corners and inconsistent gunfights. The focus here is clearly on consistency. Fights should feel cleaner, more responsive, and less random overall. If this works as intended, we should see fewer questionable deaths, fewer situations where shots feel off or delayed, especially in fast engagements or unstable lobbies. This is easily one of the most important parts of this patch, if not the most important. Their other major focus seems to be audio with this update, especially the footstep audio. They implemented a new footstep mix strategy aimed at clarity during chaotic fights. Close-range footsteps are now louder and clearer even when obstructed, while distant or vertical audio has been toned down to reduce the clutter. Indoor and outdoor footsteps are also supposed to be easier to distinguish now, and they've increased priority on footstep assets so that they're less likely to drop during heavy combat. Vehicles also got some mix adjustments as well, talking about ground vehicles being louder at close range, while jets and general vehicle audio were rebalanced as a whole. They've also added a stereo width customization option as well, so hopefully that allows for a little more immersion, but that setting could also make things a little more competitive as well. Overall, this looks like a clarity pass more than a volume change, which is actually what the game needed, and I'm hoping this aligns it more with past Battlefield games, because even 2042 did a much better job with its audio. Next up, progression got some meaningful changes as well. Sidearm XP requirements were now reduced, and they're going to be about 60% less on average, which means that pistols should actually feel a little more viable to level up now, instead of just being a filler content kind of thing and taking forever. They also introduced an overall new XP curve for the primary weapons. Early ranks are roughly twice as fast, with the total progression time being about 15% faster overall. This is clearly aimed at reducing friction more than changing gameplay balance, and that's okay. I do like these changes, however, I don't think it's going to be quite to the level that it should have been. Again, this is 15% faster overall. Some of my weapons, it's taken about 1,000 to 1,200 kills in order to get it to a level 50. We're still unlocking significant attachments up to level 50, so I don't think this 15% faster thing is really going to cut it overall. I think they needed to change when these attachments were going to be unlocked along with this update. What they did move though were the camo unlocks coming much earlier. They've moved the mastery ranks from 20, 30, and 40 to ranks 5, 15, and 30. That means players are going to get these customizations much earlier, but again, it doesn't address the point I just made. And then there's the gadget updates. Portable mortars can now be deployed in HQ areas, they're going to be more visible on the minimap, and direct hits are going to be more effective. So yeah, they're probably going to be even more annoying now. Not really sure who's making these decisions at DICE because I haven't seen anybody complain about the mortars not being annoying enough. They also made some changes to the incendiary grenades and how they behave to create more consistency when they're blocked by geometry, especially indoors. As a lot of you have probably been aware of, you can get burned through objects and you never see the fire at all. A pretty significant change as well is to the anti-take mines. They're now going to despawn after 3 minutes from the time that the owner dies. This should reduce passive clutter and puts more pressure on the engineers to be more mindful about where they're placing their mines so they don't just die in the process. Beyond that, there is the new content, including map and guns that are coming with this update, but I didn't want to focus on those. I actually want to focus on the more meaningful changes in terms of consistency and quality of life. So overall, not the flashiest of patches, but it does target the exact things that I think they need to be focusing on, because when it comes to the netcode and audio in particular, this will be a defining update if they make significant improvements there, because those have been the absolute worst parts of this game since prior to its release. Granted, I'm curious how it's going to feel once it's live, because on paper, this is great, but have they executed with this update? I guess we'll see next week. Anyway, be sure to let me know what you think about these changes down in the comments below. I'll catch you on the next one. RAMTEID out.